Eadweard Muybridge was an English photographer asked in 1873 by the ex-governor of California, Leland Stanford, to settle a bet as to whether horses' hooves left the ground when they galloped. To determine this, he set up a line of 12 cameras with tripwires connected to their shutters. Each camera took a picture when the horse tripped its wire. Muybridge developed a projector, the zoopraxiscope, to present his findings. The zoopraxiscope projected images from rotating glass discs in rapid succession to give the impression of motion. This bet drove the first leap in the invention of the motion picture. In between 1873 and 1890, there are a lot of different attempts at capturing and displaying the motion picture, the most noteworthy of which was the kinetograph. In 1888, Thomas Edison, the famous inventor of the light bulb, commissioned William Dickinson to build this device. Dickinson built upon the work of Muybridge. He was the first to combine the two final essentials of motion picture, recording and viewing technology, into one machine. Dickinson's camera, the kinetograph, initially imprinted up to 15 meters of celluloid film at the rate of 40 frames per second. As Edison had never filed any international patents, throughout the world editors tinkered with the design and enhanced it in many ways. A kinetograph exhibition in Paris inspired the Lumiere brothers, Auguste and Louis, to invent the first commercially viable projector, the cinematograph. This device functioned as a camera, a printer, and as a projector. The cinematograph ran at a more economical speed of 15 frames per second compared to Dickinson's kinetograph. Unlike the kinetograph, which was battery-driven and weighed around 453 kilos, the cinematograph was a lightweight 9 kilos, hand-cranked and relatively portable. This affected the kinds of films that were made with each machine. Films that were shot on Dickinson's device featured materials such as circus acts that could be performed in a smaller studio in front of the camera. Lumiere's films were mainly documentary views, shot outdoors on location. However, the films from both machines were an unedited shot emphasizing lifelike movement with very little narrative content. In general, Lumiere's technology became the European standard during the early primitive era in film, because the Lumieres sent their cameramen all over the world in search of exotic subjects. The cinematograph became the much more favourable option, and was the founding film tool of the cinemas in Russia, Australia, and Japan. In the United States, the kinetograph installation business had reached its peak by the summer of 1895. Although it was still quite profitable for Edison as a supplier of films, entrepreneurs Raff and Gammon persuaded Edison to buy the rights to the state-of-the-art projector, the Latham Loop. This was developed by Thomas Armat of Washington, D.C., incorporated as a superior mechanism and loop-forming device to reduce film breakage. In early 1896, Edison began to manufacture and market this machine as his own invention. It was given its first public demonstration on April 23, 1896, at Costa and Beale's Music Hall in New York City. The Edison Vitascope, as it was marketed, brought projection to the United States and established the format of the American film for the next several years.